Okay, welcome everyone. This is the Kleros community call for Wednesday, 14th, February 14th. Today is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, everyone that celebrates it. Federico is not present today because he is at the World Government Summit in Dubai. He's mainly staying at the Edge of Government event, and he had the opportunity to pitch Kleros to lots of world leaders and cabinet ministers and lots of people investigating and researching what's next, what's coming, innovations that are being developed in governance. So it's a huge milestone for Kleros, I think. And I believe lots of these people are learning about Web3 and what we are doing at Kleros for the first time. So I'm very excited to hear what Federico will tell us about in the next week. So yeah, I believe we can make it short. So William, if do you want to share your updates?
Sure. So I don't have that much, new stuff to update that I haven't talked about before. We're continuing to do a lot of interesting research on these ideas around cell-bound token weighting and juror drawing. So we published a blog article about that a few weeks ago. Some of the responses we got from that were enthusiastic about our work on sort of particularly the eigen weighting using spectral clustering techniques, which is kind of the part at the end that we allude to as this future possible technology. So motivated by that enthusiasm that I've received by people who read the article, I've been thinking a lot about that approach specifically, and how you could try to what are the attack models in that? How does it compare to the other approaches described in the article? You get to sort of in some sense, it's like a limited AI kind of machine learning tool. It's not it's rich or complicated as building like an LLM or something, but this brings this question of, if we try to integrate this directly into a smart contract, what does that look like? Is that something that is efficient at a reasonable scale? And more pertinently, or another natural question is can you do this in a way that is resistant to manipulation? Even if an attacker manages to break some aspect of the data that's being input into the model, will it can you make your system resistant so that doesn't produce too negative results? So thinking a lot about that, thinking a lot about how we can take advantage of the modularity of V2 generally to have different kinds of dispute kits for different types of situations. We've written a lot about that in the past, but those are ongoing research.
I've been seeing some of the praise that you have been receiving, and also reading some articles that are talking a little bit about how to make SPTs use secure, right? Because that's the whole the main point, right? It's not to weaken the system where they are implemented.
Yeah. So I'm not sure I entirely understood your point, so feel free to repeat it if I'm not addressing the right thing. So already, this is an emerging ecosystem of people creating SPT applications in the first place, and you want to make sure that in order for these kind of SPT weighting systems to be natural, people need to already have SPTs and want SPTs for reasons that are sort of ideally external to Kleros. There should be social pressure around having the right SPT. Maybe you need your SPT to communicate, participate in some kind of online forum or community or something. And because then you also have that SPT, you can start, that people would want for some external reason, you can use it to, do things like weighting in Kleros or weighting in quadratic funding, where now you start to say something about the global population of people that have different types of SPTs. And then you get to these issues where it's okay, you have all these SPTs being issued by different parties. What if some of them are broken? How much does that mess up your global system? How much can you corrupt Kleros weighting or quadratic funding weighting? If one weird community that issued its SPTs that you included on your curated list of SBTs for the purposes of waiting is like corrupted and is being awarded to like random attackers. So that's sort of the question I'm thinking a lot about. Like, when you have this decentralized ecosystem of different people awarding different SPTs, maybe sometimes that's as simple as submitting yourself to a curated list that uses Kleros to determine whether you deserve some SPT, but maybe it's some system that's independent of Kleros. Like, if some of those break and some of them are secure, like, how secure is your system overall?
Perfect. Yeah, I'll give it a couple of more reads. So let's go to Alex. I know I have something to share about what Alex will be saying. Is that we will post an update about the KEEP 66 that was voted, I believe, a month ago. But Alex, can you share more about this?
Basically, I will post the update in the forum by the end of this week, so you will be able to have a look, and if you have some question, you can let us know. There was just a little thing. Basically, the 12 million weren't mint in January, but they were done in February due to the governor. So it's a minor change, but at the end of the process, and you will have everything written in the forum, so you will be able to check all the details. And if you have any questions, we will be more than happy to explain and give you more details. So that's it for the governance side of Kleros. On the more broad DAO and governance range, we are currently talking to some different protocol. One is called Event Horizon. They are doing like meta governance. We are looking at different things. It could be integration with them. It could be as well ways to increase participation and retail participation in Kleros governance. So we are currently looking at that. I'm also looking deeply into the Arbitrum DAO ecosystem. This ecosystem is very interesting for us because we are building our V2 there. So yes, in this ecosystem, like basically all the ecosystem where we will be compatible with our cross-chain model, there will be need for dispute resolution system in a decentralized way. So that's definitely an ecosystem I'm looking deeply into. Maybe another point for people that are based more in Lisbon, we are going to do a talk in a meetup, myself with Facundo, our policy writer. The name of the talk will be Evolving Governance, the Journey from Multisig to Constitutional DAOs. In this talk, I'm going to talk a bit more about the Zodiac module, and Facundo will introduce a little bit what could be done basically with this module and things like constitutions for DAOs and constitutional checks thanks to Kleros. So that's we are also taking an active part of the Shutter DAO governance. So that's what we are working on in terms of governance and DAOs at Kleros for now. And yeah, I don't know, maybe Marcos, you want to go in the other BD business development aspect?
Yeah. Hey everyone. About the general BD updates, we have first we received some new cases this last week. There's 11 cases, sorry, and there was a new case won by a Lemon user, but it's always a good news. Of course, we want to receive more cases, but being able to solve some problems to the user is always good. So, well, a new case won by a user. We received a new case won by a user. Then this week, we have a good call with MetaMask. We are already integrated with them, but Wangmian and I don't remember who were the ones that joined that call. Wangmian and Hill were the ones that joined that call, and it was a really good call. So maybe we are going to be announcing something new in the next weeks. And then we are working, besides what Alex just mentioned, we are working in a presentation that we are going to do in ETH Argentina, in Mendoza, more specifically talking. And it's going to be it was going to be the last week of February and the 1st of March. So yeah, those are the most important things from the BD side.
I think that updates that I can share is that there are some updates on the V2 side. Some bug fixes, of course, a new page for getting PNK, and there's today I found out that there's a hidden button in the V2 testnet UI where you can see the dispute preview. I believe it's the dispute template that developers can use to create disputes. So I'll post the screenshot. I'm not sure if the version in production right now has it, but I'll share it. And the developers are also working on fixing the notifications that should be fixed by now. But I would recommend you to double check if everything's working fine, and if you got selected on a case and did not receive a notification, please notify us so we can take another look. But we are monitoring it very closely now. There's now a person like in charge of doing this, and there's also significant development on Curate V2, and there's someone working on VIA, and other technical development has been going on as well. There's a nice page that we will be releasing this week about our treasury strategy and the status of the holdings of the cooperative. And I believe it will be posted maybe today or tomorrow. And I believe it will be. It's very interesting to understand what do we take in consideration when considering what to hold and which assets fit the objectives of the cooperative. So I recommend to check it when it is launched. And it's also good for transparency, of course. I think
on the Kleros website.
Yeah, it's already live. Yeah, we did not post it yet, but it's already live. Let me post it. Yeah,
that's super cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have a look.
It reminds me a little bit of what Carpet Key does for ENS DAO and Gnosis DAO, and it's great to have this visibility. Where else? I believe we had last week we announced the new incentive program for Curate. That it is now chain agnostic, so you can submit tags and contracts and domains that do not need to be on some specific chains. So I recommend checking the rules as well. I did not monitor how many submissions we have, but it's now more. You get a more. It's easier to calculate how much you will get now because we changed some of the parameters. So yeah, I think that's it for me. I don't know if anyone else has anything else to share. Okay, so I will finish the call. So see you on the chats. I'll share the treasury page. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Jim. See you later.
Guys.
All right.